Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well. Welcome to today's bonus upload. Before we jump on into it, a couple quick links. As many of you may know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below, merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. These audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support the channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads that I put out daily, click the bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment and share the video. Why? Well, because these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go. They definitely do matter, and they are appreciated. And with that, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into today's bonus, shall we? All right, like I said in today's first upload, Luciferian Agenda, Playing Games with Humanity, I am going to be doing our weekly live stream, which is normally on Saturday Nightmares, live from upstate New York. I'm going to be doing that on Friday, tonight, 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow is my youngest daughter's birthday. She will be 18, and I am dedicating the majority of the day to her. Just not going to be able to do a live stream tomorrow night, so I'm going to do it tonight. I hope to see you all there. Also, this interview is about three and a half years old. An amazing interview with an amazing person. And you know what's crazy is even still, there are people saying that the information Victor shared was false. Now, when I first was introduced to Victor, the channel got a lot of flack. I was like 8,000 subscribers at the time. And throughout the entire time of him sharing experiences with us, he never faltered in anything he said. He always stayed true to what he said. We put him on the spot many times. I've gotten some really .gov email responses, which I posted in the community posts so you guys can see them. And, people ridiculed him, ridiculed me. And now it's so strange how it works out that now other channels are sharing the information that Victor shared 3 years ago. And it's just such a turnaround. But there's still those people that doubt him. And, I know that I can verify and did verify everything that he said. Luke did as well. The emails from the .gov email address, so it's funny how things have kind of turned around, but not really. And how there are channels out there that will share information that was never said prior to Victor coming on the channel, and now they share it on other channels, or other channels share it and act like it was their original, information. It's just so weird how the cycle of the cryptid research community is. And that's pretty much the biggest reason why I've stayed out of it and not made friends with channels or researchers, and just stayed true to myself and you guys. So this is an amazing interview with an amazing person, and I miss him on a daily basis. Victor, how are you?
I'm doing great. How's everybody out there and you?
I'm doing well.
I've been away for a while and had to do some things. I'm back now and getting better.
How's dialysis going? Good?
It's going. Something I'm not used to, but it's a regimen that after this last go round I have to do now, and it's just part of life, I guess. So.
Right. Absolutely. So I know you and I kind of talked, and I kind of wanted to just do something different than we've ever done. I wanted to just chew the fat, ask you a couple things, what you thought about them, and possibly get some info on the background of it. But I know a lot of people are asking what or if anything is going on with the book. I've gotten a lot of emails and a lot of comments on that.
Well, I signed the final paperwork with them, and they said that it would be out, or they hadn't given me a date yet, but they're supposed to give me a date within the week is what they said. So, but I'm leaving tomorrow, going to Alaska. So, I should know something within the next 7 to 10 days.
Right. Yeah. All right. So
it's finished and ready for them to print.
Do they have it? So they have it?
They have it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, I mean, like you said in the very beginning, when the expected date was early fall or middle fall, it's just, we're not even in fall yet. We're closing in on it, but so it's going to be as planned, which is cool.
Yeah. So 38 chapters. And it's going to be in hardback. And I'm not sure the price yet. They said that they would set the price. But it's supposed to be a really nice book.
Nice.
It has pictures. It's, pages with pictures are supposed to be some kind of special paper that makes them look real, not just plain paper, like it's colored, like it's put like a printed picture. So you can see that.
That's going to be exciting. I'm excited. I really am. I said something about it the other day when you told me a little bit. And I was like, I'm just as excited to read this as anyone is because, I have limited knowledge of what's in the book. And I'm happy for that because that'll fit good, so.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Alaska. That is not for your work because you are now officially fully retired. They will never call you back in.
I've got a letter. They will never call me again.
Right.
This is something that I wanted to do for a long time and never got the opportunity to do. And me and 3 of my sons are going up to Alaska to do a little research on my own of a place that you know about.
Yep.
And
we talked about actually a few times on this channel with you actually. So
yeah. And I'm actually going up there and got permission from the natives that we can come up there and spend 7 days. So that's going to be an experience. To everybody that don't know, all my kids are at home with me in Colorado now and living with me. After this last episode I went on, I kind of needed some help, and they're all out here with me. So they're actively searching for work, but 3 of them's going on this trip with me. So I'll be taken care of.
Right. And ironically enough, that noise in the background is not a bird. That is one of his kids' dogs playing with a chew toy. So.
Yep. Yep. That's not one of my dogs. It's one of my dogs that eat it.
You're going to because we've talked about it numerous times. You're going to Portage, and you're going to check
Portage,
out.
Alaska.
One of your kids wants to see, or all three of those guys want to see a
Three of these guys
Sasquatch.
want to see a Sasquatch. And supposedly this is what ran everybody out of that town. And I've always heard about it. I always wanted to go there and never got a call in my entire career to ever get the chance to go to that place. And it's just something that I want to do. And since my boys has got to my home and they got into my files and started reading, kind of got to where they wanted to see if it's really true.
Right.
So I figured this would probably be the best chance to prove something to them. So we're going to make the trip, leaving tomorrow, flying out tomorrow, and we'll be back 10 days.
That's going to be exciting.
Yep. So I hope I have some service up there where I can call. I don't know that I will, but
yeah, it'll definitely be. I'm a little jealous. You did invite me, but with school coming, I can't go. And
yeah,
I'd like to.
I was hoping you could.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to do that. It's a place that I'd love to go, especially after talking to the subscriber from Alaska. And she sent me a bunch of beautiful pictures from that area, and it was just truly amazing to see, you know, how beautiful that land is up there. And
yeah,
I think people get it. They don't really realize that it's not just snow. It's actually there's green mountains and just beautiful land and beautiful rivers, and it's gorgeous up there. So it's the last frontier. It's America's last frontier. So
yep, that's right.
So, well, I've been covering. You have sort of tried to catch up on the channel because with everything that's been going on, and lack of time on your end, I've been covering a couple of different cases. One being Cott County, Tennessee. That's what we're going to do tonight, guys. We're just going to talk about a couple of different things, and I want to get Victor's view and insight on what is going on. So, I mean, as you are aware, a guy was torn apart on the 1st of April, and then 2.5 months later, on I think the 18th, Amber Miller was torn up. Arms were removed, leg, same as Tony Aaron's, but he had lacerations. The medical examiner claimed that the body of Amber Miller had so many holes they lost track of. Now, when I mentioned that to you, you told me right off the bat that there was agents sent there at one time.
Yes. On April, let me get the date. I got it right here. Where that? When was it? I can see it. Okay. I got a lot of windows open on my thing. So sit there on April 18th, and he started out, he sent 2 agents because they had a werewolf that was one of ours that was within a quarter of a mile of Jimtown Road at the time of this incident. And there was other cattle that was killed, and then this man came up, murdered, and this werewolf was very elusive. They started out with 2 agents down there, and as time went on, they couldn't ever get this werewolf pinned down to an area. And by late July, they had 14 agents trying to trap this one werewolf. And I feel like this werewolf was probably responsible for these deaths on account of the mutilation and the cut wounds that I'm looking at on the bodies that I'm seeing. I would just about bet that it was a werewolf. It possibly could have been a Dogman, but it wasn't. It ain't dogs at all. Neither one of them. I've still got my work computer, and I'm looking at autopsy photos and the wounds that after the bodies has been cleaned up, and I've got pictures of the bodies before and where they was picked up at, and pictures in the field that I can see, and I can tell you by the wounds that this was no pack of dogs.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and then you know what's crazy with me? Because I've been covering it since I think two weeks after Tony Aarons was found dead in April 1st. But the autopsy reports come back, and the sheriff down there, Armando Fuentes, wanted to blame, for some reason, the Tony Aarons's body had methamphetamine and amphetamine in it, and he said, I believe this was a contributing factor to his death. Well, that makes no sense. And then
No.
Amber Miller her dad was a sheriff or a deputy who was killed on duty, and they kind of said that, you know, the newspaper was just putting a lot of filler in there, like, well, Tony Aarons had the meth and this and that, so it was his fault. And then Amber Miller was no saint either. You know, her dad passed away. She went a little, you know, wild at a young age, and it was just, I don't know. I've never really heard or read anything so distasteful, I guess the best word would be.
Yeah.
Because anytime, I don't know, it's very distasteful to me. It's just filler.
Well,
it's filler, and it's a way of, because I had a guy on the show. I don't know if you caught that. I know you've got, you know, with all the kids there, but I had a guy that he came on, and he ended up talking to a homeless guy that lived down by the trestles, and the homeless guy said, you know, they're not dogs down there. That's what they want you to think. Be careful on your motorcycle when you head out, because this thing will come out of the woods and take you right off of that thing. Which just tells you that they've seen it or they've heard it, and they know that it's not a dog.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty crazy case. Is there any, and did they catch that, or are they still, is that an active, ongoing case?
It's an active, ongoing case. As of today, they still have 3 agents. It's supposed to be 3 agents that have ran this werewolf out of the area. They are in Arkansas now.
That's
so
crazy.
They have ran this thing a long ways, but even when they had 14 agents, they never got it surrounded.
Right.
And this one is one they can pinpoint because they got the machinery to do it, and they couldn't get themselves in positions. This is a smart wolf. He is very, very smart.
Now, being
And
chipped, what would send him over the edge like that? Because usually it's Dogman, you know what I mean? Or
yeah,
an
well,
unchipped anything,
I,
but this is chipped in through the program.
yeah, I mean, there's going to be bad ones in every bunch. I truly believe that.
Right.
For the most part, though, I would put my life in the hands of any one of them that's been through the program. But that being said, right here's a case of one that has went over the edge, and the only thing that now for him is to be killed. They've just got to catch him. He's got to make a mistake, and they've got to be in the place when he makes that mistake. And so far, he hasn't. And these agents are wore down to an edge. The 3 original that was sent to get him, or 2 of the originals, are still on the trail. And 1 more that was added in July is still on the trail. And they're in Arkansas now. So, and, you know, but even though they can see where he's at, they can't get around him enough people to box him in for an agent to get a shot off at him.
Right, right.
And kill him.
Yeah, that's...
But no, he hadn't taken no agents out, and he hadn't done anything since the July 12th attack on animals or humans.
Right. Yeah, so, it's. I mean, when I read the Tony Aarons, when I saw the news, and I was like, wow, and it was very small. It was a very small news article, and as they described him, you know, they said lacerations across his body, partially devoured. This guy was literally chatting with someone on the phone at 9:30 and found 3 hours later by a mailbox dead, and just torn to pieces. So, I mean, dogs, any dog, and I've had people on here to validate this that have worked with dogs, it's going to take a lot longer than 3 hours to just rip bone and muscle. And, I mean, it makes no sense. The wild dog, or the supposed wild dogs, not really wild, but, you know, domesticated dogs owned by Charles Owensby were the ones that were licking Amber Miller's wounds. Well, if they were friggin' as vicious as the news made them sound, they would have attacked the Good Samaritan, without a doubt.
That's right. Yeah. They would have went after them also.
Yeah. I mean, none of it makes any sense to me. So, I don't know. Well, that's good.
Once an animal gets a taste for human blood, it goes after that more than once.
Right. And I hope they get it. I really do, because this...
Yeah, I do too. There was another attack, though, that happened in Tennessee, and it was right close to it happened on July 18th at about 2 o'clock in the morning. Memphis, he lived through it, and he told them it wasn't dogs, but they said it was dogs that cut him and done everything to him. But he lived through it and said that they said that 8 dogs had attacked him, and he told them no, that it was just 2 animals that attacked him, and that was right close to just blocks from Elvis Presley's mansion where this took place. So it was right on the Mississippi River. So this was just after the attack on her.
Right.
And they was pushing this animal towards Arkansas. So this could have been the same animal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
That guy's name was Moore, I think.
okay, I'll have to check into that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to stay in that area a little bit. Being that you've been an agent for so long, you have seen a lot. Now, Hurricane Ida just ripped through Louisiana and a lot of the southern states down there. It actually, the tail end pretty much screwed New York City up for a day. And Ida fell on the same day that Katrina did 16 years earlier. Was there a lot of activity after Katrina? And do you think there'll be a lot of activity after Ida?
Right after the water started to subside, there was a good bit of activity. People was displaced. People was living in tents, trying to get their homes back and everything. And there was a lot of activity. We got a ton of reports, but we didn't get a ton of calls. We was getting reports out from down there probably every day, but they wasn't going through the proper channels to get us involved. We probably, after Katrina, we probably had 7 cases, but we probably had 35 reports that we seen,
right,
that we felt was legitimate, and there was probably 50 others that could have been. And I'm just throwing that number out there. I'm not certain on the number.
Right.
But
I mean,
I
people,
remember it was high.
Yeah,
because it was right after all that happened, and the weather cleared, and people was going back to see their homes when they could get in there, and they didn't have homes to go back to.
Yeah.
And they was living in tents and whatever they could, and trying to rebuild. And these reports was coming in, but like I said, they wasn't going through the proper channels. We can see the reports when they go to the police, but if they don't follow the proper channels, we couldn't get involved. So
yeah, I almost wonder how many, like you said, people were displaced, rebuilding, living in tents outside of their home, just after the fact, trying to rebuild. And I wonder how many unreported cases went on, just the unreported ones, you know what I mean? Like if there were, cases reported, imagine that, and how easy it is for the local government to hide it, because it seems like the local government wants to hide a lot.
They don't want that to be known that this is going on anywhere.
Yeah.
No place wants it.
Tennessee is the same way. I really think that I think that Armando Fuentes, once again, it's re-election year, and I think in Tennessee that he's trying to handle it internally, or did try to handle it internally until your guys came down, but because he doesn't have an answer. There's no definitive reason or definite reason and they arrested the poor guy. No, I'm not going to say he's a poor guy, because he's not a good person. Regardless of the fact of him being a dirtbag, he doesn't need that to be attached to, they really, when they had Owensby locked up on a marijuana charge, that's all they could get him on, and took DNA from everything. They even dug a dead dog up in his yard. that was like 19 years old. It was just, I think a lot of these are just being handled internally, that they don't want your help. I think, the only reason why you guys even knew about it is because there was a second case. That article that happened with Tony Aarons was so small in the very beginning that it was almost like they wanted it to just disappear. And then, boom, another case happens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but the Aarons case was actually called in to the Department of Natural Resources.
That one was called in, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, because you guys came in, yep, okay, April 18th.
I killed that werewolf.
No, Tony Aarons, that recent case that just happened in Tennessee.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the little boy.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
That was the Kentucky.
That's a different case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kentucky.
that's Kentucky.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense that why they would want to just keep it a secret. So.
Well, they don't want it to be known, and they cover it up. And unless this, according to what I'm reading here on my computer, it says that it was actually called into the Department of Natural Resources by the family. That they asked them to come out and do a search.
That's incredible. Okay. This whole thing is just incredible. This year has been a bad year for the public to return back into nature.
Yeah. Well, they've been missing out from in the woods for a year.
Yeah.
And the animals, that did attack people, they're out there that does attack people, but they're so far and so few between.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're safe out there for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. For the amount of cases that have happened, it just seems like that there's a lot, because there's more than normal that we're hearing about. But there's the case that baffles me, and I've covered it just the same with the Cott County, Tennessee, is the Yosemite family. The father, mother, daughter, and dog, all found mysteriously dead on a trail that is used to look for wildflowers. There's like a beautiful wildflower preserve or something out there. And initially they treated the case as a hazmat case, saying that there was carbon monoxide coming from caves or blue algae in the water of the river and stuff like that, or the lake or whatever. But they weren't even near the water, and the officials or the investigators down there didn't find any carbon monoxide from any caves. Now, the thing that gets me is how they're not even saying if there was any physical damage to the bodies. They had mentioned a possible rattlesnake bite, but that's not going to kill all four things, and a rattlesnake isn't going to bite all four people, or three people and a dog in one sitting, That's the only thing that's mentioned for physicality in this case, and it's a very strange case because it's almost like they went out hiking and poof, they died. Now the FBI, I guess, is looking into their phones, the guy's phones, the father, but there's no cell service out there. There's nothing out there. I don't know. What do you think about that? What's your take on that? Personally,
that's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see if we've got anything on that at all. The only thing I'm finding is the Forest Service warned of a toxic algae
Yeah.
that had been found in the Merced River and urged people not to swim, wade, or allow their pets to drink the water. No marks on the bodies could be found, although, so that's ruling out the rattlesnake bites.
Yep. It's ruling out Dogman, Sasquatch. I mean, it just makes no sense. It's a baffling case.
No gunshot wounds or blunt force trauma, according to the coroner. No suicide notes, nothing like that for the investigators.
Yep. Yeah, it's and like the newest update was yesterday, and it's the same. It's literally the same article from 3 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks, word for word. Hazmat, hazardous area. Hazard, like, okay, yes, it's definitely a friggin' hazardous area, but you have not told us what killed this poor family. I mean,
I got a toxicology report right here.
Yeah, and there was, I don't think they said carbon monoxide. There was no carbon monoxide found in the toxicology report.
All the toxicology reports is good on all of them. Nothing whatsoever.
Because they even did the dog, thinking, which makes it's very strange because if the dog did drink the water from the blue algae in the Merced River there, he'd get sick, but he wouldn't infect the whole family.
No, it wouldn't.
And it takes time for blue algae to kill. Like you have to really consume a shitload of it or be in that water for, I mean, we're not talking an hour. You've got a couple days of activity in that area, and that's what's going to kill you. But they were out in a day. I mean, they went on a day hike. They were in and out.
Well, that day, it's reported that temperature was 109 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
But their bodies...
They had water. They had drinking water. They had everything.
Yeah,
they had
everything.
And they were good parents. So, like, if it was that hot, I'm thinking they would have stopped. They definitely hydrated themselves and the baby and the dog. They weren't neglectful people, from what the friends say. They were decent, respecting people. Is completely. This one is straight from Twilight Zone.
I don't know what to think about this one. I mean, there's no signs of any kind of trauma to the body.
Yeah. I'm thinking about one thing. And I read an article. I shared the article with you before I narrated it, about that theory from the Great White Brotherhood or whatever, about these portals, but they're not really portals. They're almost like a frequency vibration, and they're able to shut down and contaminate, or not contaminate, but take over the people and die without any sort of wounds. It makes no sense. I mean, remember that article that I shared with you about the Great White, from the Great White Brotherhood? And that almost, to me, fits the ticket, because the way they described...
Going into a portal.
Yeah, the way they described how the people would come back, there would be no wounds or anything, or just...
Nothing done, they'd just be dead.
Yeah. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. During your time with the agency, how many times or how many calls did you guys get about portals or strange things like this that had no involvement with the big three that you were faced with?
We got several calls on stuff that people said there was portals, but as far as me ever seeing one, it never happened.
Okay.
I never walked into one. I never seen a portal. In my time, I never had an agent or knew of an agent that walked into one.
Is there any division of our government that deals with these things directly? Like, I mean, you've got you guys that deal with.
There was another branch that dealt with things more paranormal than ours, and they was manned by about the same number of men that we had, and but like I said, sometimes we would get a call and go, because a lot of times there'd be cattle mutilations, and people would say that the cow was there 5 minutes ago, and then they come back 10 minutes later and the cow's laying there and it's butchered.
Yeah.
And they couldn't understand how something could happen like that in that length of time.
Yep. I think, like, when me and you talked, I think that our time is nothing compared to like if one of those cows is in a portal.
Yeah.
10 minutes may pass here, but it may be long enough time for them to do the dissection and the cauterization and whatever or not of wounds, and and then just throw it back without none the wiser and thinking, hey, it's only been 10 minutes, what the hell did this? But in all actuality, it could have been a day, or an hour or two.
Yeah.
There's just, it's very strange things that I remember when I started the channel. I think I was blind because I had my encounter and I believed in the paranormal and I believed in all the other stuff. But I wanted to just look at everything as being earthly, like the Sasquatch, Dogman, werewolf, what have you is earthly. But then, these portals are, for some reason, I didn't even really think about them. They weren't part of in my brain. It was, and now it's, the connection, because I think the connection is because I know sometimes something comes out of these portals, and it's definitely not something a human wants to run into.
Yeah. I think that happens more times than what we care to imagine.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the missing 411, I think that a lot of them can be explained to that, walking into a portal. Things that's not attached to people is left behind, and usually it's only the skin tight stuff that goes with them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times
that article is amazing. That friggin' blew my mind how well thought that theory was from that organization. Did you knew of the guy, that Bob guy, Sanders?
Yeah,
or whatever.
I know of Bob Sanders.
And I read a lot about that, their theories and stuff, and I mean, there's stuff that is kind of but then a lot of it is just like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. This makes more sense than what
you really think.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to believe that this stuff exists because it does.
Yeah.
And believe it till I see it. Well, seeing it and living through it's one thing. What you see out there sometimes would just blow your mind. I mean, some things that walk out of the ocean.
Yep.
Some things that just walk in our woods. I mean, some things that walk in our deserts. If you just, I mean, you people just don't believe what could possibly be there. But it is.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I've lived a life of it. And, well, in my book, people can read.
It's definitely going to be a good read. I'm excited about it. I get emails. I probably get an email every other day about, hey, when's the book? Have you heard from Victor? Tell Victor I'm praying for him. The comment section, like when I made mention of you the other day, it was crazy the amount of people that said, hey, we want to hear from him. We haven't heard from him in a while. This and that. The amount of support. And I think it's because you got something different to offer rather than, you know, the basic regular encounter. You know, you've lived the life and seen things that most people dream about or have nightmares about.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have them, so
yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Right. So what do you think, your results are going to be? Can I get a prediction of Alaska from you? How do you think that's going to work out?
Well,
or how would you like it to work out? Let's put it that way.
How would I like it to work out?
Yeah, and then how do you think it's gonna? Because you're very intelligent and you've lived the life, so you know what to expect.
Well, I hope to be able to show 3 of them a Sasquatch, because with all reports that come out of that area, that's what ran all the people out of this town. And according to the postmaster who stayed there the longest, he's seen numerous times, and he stayed in the one building for a year by himself, and he was terrified every night with them trying to get in, everything. And he's passed now, but some of his stories that he left with the natives up there are just unreal. But getting the natives to tell you them is something else. And I was able to break through and be able to hear some of what he was telling, and it was terrifying. But like I said, I'm taking 3 of my boys. They're going with me, and they want to see one. They've read some of my files and my dad's files, and they want to experience what I've seen and be able to come back. And I figure this would probably be our best bet. If I can get in up there, and, we're going to stay, we ain't going in there hunting them. We're going to stay there. We're in the town, and where the old town used to be, and we're going to make this a place where the old barn is, and that's where we're going to stay. And I'm going to set us up a perimeter where hopefully we'll know if something comes into it. And I'll be the only one there. That's one bad thing. I'm going to be the only one they're going to be allowed to be on. Of course, I can outshoot all my boys, but I've got older now. And I ain't as good as I once was, and I know that. But they trust me enough to go with me. I hope to show them. I hope in the 7 days that we're there that I'm able to let them see a full body Sasquatch. Is what my goal would be. Not a half body, not a an arm, a leg, a head. I want them to see the full thing. That's my.
That'll be, I really think it'll be a perfect trip for you guys. Even if you don't see anything.
I've got 7 days to prove my boys.
Yeah. Most definitely. And hopefully.
According to the natives, it's people that went in there and tried to stay off the fishing boat for a night. Says that they can't stay on close to that cabin because they have to go back out and get their boats and leave on account of the activity. And the fishermen don't even go in there.
Right.
On account of it, into that cove. So.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, well,
I'll know when I get back.
I think you're definitely gonna. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. If you do come across anything, or at least if there is service, shoot me a text so I know that you're okay and that you may have a story to come back with, because I know that's something that you said to me the other day when we talked, that you said, who knows, I may have a story to share when I come back.
That's right.
Which would be a whole different scenario than what you're used to, because
I ain't hunting this one.
Yeah. I'm almost curious of how the boys are gonna handle it.
Yeah, yes, that's 2 of them I'm not worried about too much. But one of them, I'm anxious to see how he reacts if we do get to see one.
Yeah, most definitely. So, well, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, or is there kind of?
Just let everybody know that just as soon as I get a date on the book, which will probably be, I'm hoping next month, is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Or I'm hoping maybe later this month. Like I said, it's in the publisher's hands now. It's been approved to be published. Like I said, it's 38 chapters. Every chapter's got pictures. 38 different stories. Some of them, a couple of them, 3 of them, I think you've heard.
Yep.
3 or 4 of them maybe you've heard. And, but I don't think you've seen the pictures on none.
I know you haven't seen
none of the pictures.
I've only seen a couple pics that you showed me.
Yeah.
But
you seen the werewolf baby.
Yep. Which was absolutely disgusting. And that's exactly what you did when you showed that picture to me. I said, that is friggin' the most disgustingest thing I've ever seen in my life. Well, don't
Uh,
hang up before we let you go, because I'm gonna shoot the shit with you some more,
okay.
just about our stuff. I know that you probably made everybody's night tonight.
Well, I, I'm just sorry I've been away for so long, but
Well, things
like I
happen.
said, government called me back one more time, and I went and done what I needed to do.
And
So
at least this time you're done. I mean,
I'm done. Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
crazy because they just, in my eyes, even though you're compensated, you are very well compensated, but
yeah.
I think they they pretty much rode you hard and put you back out in the pasture with not really a care, just in my eyes. They pretty much got what they needed out of your body and just move
Yeah.
on, and that's
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm seeing it now. Because I mean, I have to take dialysis after this last adventure. I mean, them 2 gunshot wounds destroyed my kidneys, and that wasn't all that I had, but it was enough to destroy me. I guess I'm lucky to be alive, but
There you have it, folks. I hope you all enjoyed today's bonus as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I hope to see you all at tonight's live stream, 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, it's not going to be on Saturday. It's going to be tonight. I'd like to thank you for supporting the channel. It is your support that helps the channel to continue to grow and go, and what gives us all a place and a chance to share our experiences and theories judgment-free. Everyone is simply treated with the respect that we deserve. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant. Keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and our friends. These creatures are real. These events have happened. Share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for the truth, and God bless you all.